There's a saying I recently came across, and it goes like this. Those who do not move do not notice their chains. And this year, I moved. Coming back home after traveling always feels sad to me because it feels like the end of something great. But this year, coming back home felt completely different. See, just a couple of years ago, I had no idea what I really wanted to do in life. No clear purpose, nothing I was truly passionate about, and no idea how I could ever find it. I always thought people who did know from a very young age were truly blessed, but I wasn't. I just picked a study that seemed to promise a decent career, worked a job that pays the bills, and I just got by in life, hoping that one day I would stumble upon something that would change my life forever. But I didn't stumble upon anything. I just stumbled through life. I honestly felt like an NPC instead of the main character of my own life. Until one day I realized that for the ones that weren't lucky enough to find their purpose, they have to create it themselves. And that's exactly what I did. One day I woke up and decided that it's time to completely change my life before it's too late. And I can honestly say I went from feeling lost in life, being stuck at a job I don't really like, to quitting that same job. I quit. And now doing something I truly enjoy doing, working on my own dreams, experiencing true freedom and fulfillment while traveling the world. And looking back at my journey, I am 100% convinced that anyone can do the same by following the exact same 5 steps I followed to change my own life. Here's step 1, the dream life. Before you decide to change your life, you need to clarify what it exactly is you want to change into. And the way to figure that out is to think about your dream life. If you could let your fantasy run loose, what would your dream life look like 5 years from now? And I want you to sit down, grab a pen and paper, and write down what a day in that dream life of yours will look like, in full detail. Who do you wake up next to? What does your house look like? What do you do for a living? What car do you drive? The more details, the better. And go over it again every once in a while. And repeat this until that vision of your dream life becomes a clear picture in your head. And if you struggle with coming up with something from your imagination, then do the exact opposite. Step 2. Think about your nightmare life. What would your life look like if you didn't succeed in all the things you want to succeed? How would that make you feel? If you don't work out and become fat, and if you scroll TikTok and hamster all day, and if you don't work on your goals, what would this nightmare life look like? Whether you like it or not, fear is a greater motivator than success. Running away from your nightmare life can bring you closer to your dream life, and especially if you're struggling with defining your dream life. Start with what you don't want, your nightmare life, and then go and run in the opposite direction, which is your dream life. And once you have that vision for your dream life clear, I want you to translate that into the one thing. And the one thing is what you need to achieve by the end of this year to bring you that much closer to your dream life. It can mean earning 20K from a side hustle, getting to 12% body fat, or starting a family. Whatever it is, make sure to pick a goal that will bring you closest to your dream life. And make sure to focus on just that one thing for the entirety of this year. Hyper focus on the one thing. No distractions. Learn to say no to everything that doesn't help you achieve the one thing for this year. And once you've done that, I want you to break down the one thing into your master plan. Basically, it means translate the one thing to achieve into the one thing to do. Break down the one thing for the year into monthly goals, and break down the current month's goal into weekly goals, and then break down the current goal for the week into daily goals and break down today's goal into the one thing you need to do right now to achieve the one thing for the year. But you need to write it down not as a normal goal, but as an actionable goal. And this is how you write down an actionable goal. Instead of writing down, today I want to achieve X, you write down, today I'm going to do X at Y at Z. X being a task you can execute on, Y being a place where you're going to do that task, and Z the time when you're going to do it. The more specific you are, the higher your chances of actually achieving that goal. Now, it's not some vague goal or plan. It's just a roadmap you need to execute on. And this is exactly what I did a couple of years ago. I took the time to think about my own dream life. And in my dream life, I've quit my office job. I'm now traveling the world and I'm working on my own creative business. And I've translated that dream life of mine into my own personal master plan. So I knew exactly what I needed to do the coming years to make all of this possible. So for 2 years straight, I executed on my master plan, and I can honestly say I've made it. I did quit my job. I have traveled all around the world this year, and I'm growing my own personal brand and business. Dream life, the one thing, master plan. But this is where the majority of people struggle with procrastination, distraction, and just pure laziness. You know what to do, but you just can't get yourself to do it. And I've struggled with this myself, but I have a simple way of blasting through all those things holding you back from reaching your dream life. Monk mode. Step 5. Monk mode is a period of enhanced focus, discipline, and productivity where you commit yourself to completing a goal. And everybody has their own way of doing monk mode. But this is my exact monk mode protocol that I followed to get fit while traveling, to grow my YouTube channel to 150k subscribers, and to escape the 9 to 5 and live my dream life. I wake up at 7, drink a glass of water to rehydrate, morning walk for 15 to 20 minutes, wakes up my body, plus I get some morning sunlight in my eyes to set my circadian rhythm, which helps me sleep better. Once I come back from my morning walk, I take a cold shower or cold plunge if available, 2 to 3 minutes. Get dressed, get my coffee, open up my Notion weekly calendar and do my morning journaling. I do a check-in, I write down 3 things I'm grateful for, I define the one thing for today. So what is the one thing I need to accomplish today to call it a good, productive day? After that, it's time for 2 hours of deep work, editing, writing, or recording. I take a quick break and try to do 1 or 2 more hours of deep work before I break my fast with lunch. Low-fat yogurt, nuts, blueberries, 90% chocolate. It's high protein and not too many carbs, so I have no energy crash later and keep a steady focus. After lunch, it's usually time for non-important tasks like email, meetings, calls, and managing team members. Somewhere in the afternoon, I head to the gym for a workout, and after working out, it's time for some more work until I have dinner. Then after dinner, it's time to wind down with either some Netflix or YouTube, followed by reading a book in bed or listening to a podcast until I fall asleep. Monk mode for me means no alcohol, no drugs, working out at least 4 times per week, getting 8+ hours of sleep every night, and 3 to 4 hours of deep work towards the one thing every single day. That's my monk mode protocol. And I am 100% convinced that anyone following this exact same protocol for 6 months will become unrecognizable. And if you keep getting distracted by your environment, your friends, your old habits, change your environment. Disappear for a while. Tell your friends and family you won't be available for the coming week and lock yourself in your room and start working. Start small. Just move. Because if you don't move, you'll never realize how your friends determine your mindset, how your environment and habits shape your identity, and how society doesn't like it when you question authority. If you never move, you'll never notice your change. But if you do want to move this year, and you want me to help you change your life completely and achieve your dream life, then there's a link in the description where you can apply to work one-on-one with me. I will personally guide you through all the steps I've mentioned, and we will go way deeper into your personal situation while I hold you accountable along every step towards your dream life. And that's it. That's how you change your life in a year. That's how I changed my life. And looking back at this year, I can honestly say it was the most important, most transformative, and probably best year of my life. I achieved my master plan. The end. If you want to see what Masterplan Part 2 is about, then make sure to stick around and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers!